Hello, chat. It's a little chaotic today. Or a lot, depending on your perspective. Alright, let me make a couple adjustments. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your preference, I didn't make my food fast enough. So in short, between this and gaming, it's going to be a little slow, but I can guarantee 100% we are still making level 49 today. What the heck are you doing? Okay. Got some chicken and fries with me. It is divine. Thank goodness I was gonna say I can drive with one hand. I mean, technically, yes, I can drive with one hand. It's a little difficult, but it can be done. I don't recommend it, because you just need, especially if you're driving manual. Wait, wasn't there a Psych episode with somebody with the Colt? I'm spoiling it, but there was a Psych episode with drag racing. It was drag racing involved or something like that. It was kind of like a Fast and Furious parody in a way. Spoiler alert for anybody who's watching that episode. The culprit only had one hand. So, apologies to anybody who hasn't watched Psych yet. There's your spoiler. For anyone who was confused about what the heck happened Thursday, I felt like trash. Totally spaced out. It was not a good time. It wasn't even anything, it was just, I was exhausted. Completely exhausted. Which is really funny because then I proceeded to mow the lawn. I don't know how I managed to do that. And then I proceeded to not say anything about not mowing the lawn until the next day. Wait, what? I don't know, but I do apologize. I'm a little bit off kilter just because. And I'd like to reestablish my Thursday pattern. I'd like to not drop any more days of streaming. You know, that'd be nice. In the meantime, we are going to inch ever so closer to level 49, as stated on the stream and the notification, which is good. We last ended our previous stream with 3,000 XP remaining. Obviously, that has... No, that's... What the heck? No, it was 2,700 remaining. That's right. That's right. I went so overboard because I was like, oh, 3,000? And then I was like, there's still 10 minutes or so left. Let's go even further. Let's get 300 more. And then we did, and it was great. Actually, I was like, okay, 2,900. Okay, 2,800. Okay, 2,700. And then by 2,700, it actually makes sense for us to stop. So that's where we were at. I am going to proceed to just eat on stream, so I'm going to try not to make too many chewing noises for anybody who hates chewing. You might hear an occasional crunch, but... Okay, this is not occasional. I might have to mute myself every time I try to eat a fry. In my defense, this is an exceptionally crunchy fry. For a steak fry, I mean. You might be like, wait a minute, steak fries? Yeah, you can buy steak fries at your local grocer, depending on where you live. Maybe depending on where you live. Some grocery stores don't actually carry steak fries, which is a real shame. Because then it gives you the illusion of going to one of those fancy restaurants. Depends on where you're at. Some places prefer the crinkle fries. Some, like, your standard fast food restaurants, I say, prefer the shoestring. It's really funny how the different cut of fries makes the taste and experience so different. I mean, obviously with curly fries, they tend to flavor the curly fries. But fry shapes do something interesting. I don't know what it is about the shaping that makes it change. Then again, I feel the same about pasta shapes. Pasta shapes each taste different. And I wonder if there's like a slight composition change depending on how you shape the pasta. I really do. Because bow tie, angel hair, thin spaghetti, rotini, penne, macaroni, that is a type of noodle. They all do something different. They're all different. Like, bow tie, absolutely amazing with Alfredo. Although, I think maybe I'm just super partial to bow tie shaped pasta. But like, same thing with fries. Steak fries have a totally different vibe from shoestring. They're like about the same, they're like, the width is different, but the depth is not. If you get what I'm saying. Like, there's more patat for your... I don't know. I might be a little off kilter, which is really funny because I've been doing pretty damn fine. I did wake up a little early this morning, so there's that. And I'm glad I did because I had to do an exceptional amount of lawn care, and as the seasons get hotter, I have to take extra care to either get things done early or hydrate like crazy. I ate at least one popsicle during the course of the adventure, and actually it was more like I ate the popsicle at the end. Because I was like, you know what? Get through all of this and then you can eat a popsicle, and I'm like, hell yeah. Or maybe I ate the popsicle about midway. No, it was more than midway through. It was when I literally just had mowing, like, one area left, and then that was it. You'd be amazed how well popsicles do that. Cool you off. It actually helps when they're kind of sugary because then you get a little extra fuel. It's like a quick way for your... It doesn't, like, make your body do any more extra digesting. You're just like, yeah, okay. Fuel. Boom. Done. Been continuing my slow binge of Star Trek, specifically the Next Generation series. I just really wanted to watch it because I'm gonna be real with y'all, Data's my favorite. I love him. Wonderful, fascinating character. Would listen to him talk for hours if I could. 10 out of 10. Honestly, I love the whole cast. They're fantastic. It's really funny because apparently people give the first season or so, like, they say that it takes a little bit to get its footing, but I do still like it. Which means I'm probably gonna really enjoy from season 3 onwards, if that's how it's going. If I'm enjoying season 1 already, I have a feeling I'm gonna have a blast with the next 6 or so seasons. Yeah, it's 6 of them. Yeah, 6 afterwards. There's a total of 7. Man, it's beautiful. Can't wait to get emotional. Whee! And then at some point, guess who's gonna at some point watch their VHS copy of First Contact and probably cry because I think it's the one where there's Borg involved. Me. Borg are scary. And then maybe for like a mid-season break at some point, I'm gonna watch Galaxy Quest, even though it's technically a Star Trek parody movie. It's an honorary Trek movie, so it's funny as heck. I liked it growing up. It was very silly. And hey, the more Star Trek I watch, the more references I'll get. At least up to the point where they made the film. Obviously, there's not going to be references to some of the newer series. It's going to be fun tracking down DVDs for some of the series. I'm very excited about that prospect. What the heck? Hello? Struggle with snackage, man. Oh, I just thought of a really cute idea. I should make a separate little headshot of my kitty cat character, make it a GIF, and then toggle the GIF visibility on there. So then that way I can turn it on and make it look like the cat's eating food, like chomping on something, like maybe something that looks like a potato or a hash brown or something like that. So then that way whoever's watching has a visual indicator of, oh, Yellowfang's eating again on stream. I love how I said I was going to stop doing that. Sometimes you gotta go back to your roots, and your roots are snacking on a live stream. Actually, it's not snacking this time. It is eating. Because prior to a few minutes ago, I was running on a set of waffles, 2 slices of a chocolate pie, and a can of green beans. The can of green beans was not sustaining me. I knew damn well by the time I got live I was gonna be hungry, and I'm like, oh no. Midstream hunger crisis is not a good time. So I tried to make it as fast as possible. Did it work? No, I should have started it way earlier. That's okay. Now you get to hear me make jokes about eating on stream again. No, I got everybody. Nice. It also gives me good practice of using my right hand to just my one hand to control the controller. Some of you are gonna make whack-ass jokes. Well, okay, maybe not some of you. Probably not any of you who regularly watch my streams. I haven't really fostered that kind of group. Someone might odd shot that in the future and make a joke and be like, no. I learned how to control the controller with one hand because at any point in my life I could lose my hand for no freaking reason. Either an occupational hazard of just doing lawn care or accident in driving, because I do both of those things. Or it's like when the 10th Doctor, first out of regeneration, spent his Christmas trying to survive. Wait, was that really the same? Was that really a Christmas episode at the same time? Or was that a blood typing episode? Either way, got his hand chopped off at one point. He was still in the middle of regenerating, so some of his body parts was able to heal. Was able to heal? What am I? Unable to speak English, apparently. But yeah. You never know when you could lose a hand. Or a foot. Always be prepared. You can, and will always have a chance likelihood of suddenly you lose the ability to do something. You might lose the ability to walk. You might lose the ability to write. You might lose the ability to hear or speak. Hearing is actually a little bit higher chance because over time you get a little damage over time, especially if you don't use ear protection. Wear ear protection at your concerts, people. At your parties, at your concerts, anywhere where there's loud music. Heck, even on construction sites, especially if on your construction sites. That's like, what, 100 decibels at any given time? Ah, shoot, I used to know the exact number. It was one of those really weird random things that I learned in school. I can't remember if it was high school or college, but one of the two. One of the two, they're like, yeah, this is how loud it is at a construction site. And we're like, whoa. Oh, yeah, no, it was high school. It was definitely high school. Oh, goodness sakes, heart attack. Hi, thanks for the follow. Oh, wait, was that a follow or is that a raid? I am so lost. Oh my gosh, Shinigami, hi! Oh dear, hang on, let me fix that. It did the thing. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Gato. my whatchamacallit is she's strict. Hi, how was your stream? Alright, let me... Okay, did I fix it? No, I didn't fix it. I'm sorry about that. Sorry, Gato, I need to fix my emote limit of the thing. Hi, everyone! Welcome to the stream. I'm getting to level 49 today out of level 99. You caught me on a day where I'm eating chicken and fries. This is great. Hope y'all are having a good time. Did you have fun in Shinigami stream? Sorry about that. I'm gonna crunch away while I watch and listen. Oh, jeez. Maybe I should mute up. Hang on. Sorry, there was a crunchy bit on my chicken. Let me be more professional and put it away. Goodness sakes. Hi. Shoot, I can't even remember what I was talking about. I was probably talking about something silly. Other than Star Trek. Doing pretty good, doing pretty good. Took care of some yard work, had to replace some shoes. The old shoes were completely shredded. It was kind of amazing. What else? Made my dinner way too late, so I'm like slowly trying to stealthily eat it throughout the stream. I'm not very stealthy, unfortunately. Yeah, it's been a heck of a time. But yay, we're getting close to level 49, which is 50 levels away from 99. So, going good. That maybe I should just say going good. How have you been? Oh, ouch. Maybe I should take more damage before I start swinging. That way I can get more XP out of these fellas. No, I should not eat that in one bite. Crunch. Also, I went on a bit of a level grind on Tuesday. It was Tuesday, because Thursday I didn't stream because I was not well. Gotta be healthy. Whee! Hopefully I will get back to my regular Monday, Tuesday, Thursday schedule. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. And hopefully I'll take some more damage. Oh, nice! Yeah, because of Star Wars Day in the month. That's awesome. Star Wars games are so fun. I grew up on... Okay, I sort of grew up on LEGO Star Wars, but it was through my friend on the GameCube. And then years later, I finally got a copy of it for myself on the Wii. It was fun. Nice. Which Star Wars game is it? Oh no, oh no, I almost got knocked into the Twilight Thorn. I don't want to do that just yet. Too soon. Let's fix that. Here we go. There we go. Oh my goodness, I need water. Where is it? Oh, that's awesome! Is it the older one or the newer one? I've dipped my toes in the newer one so far. I'm like, whoa, there is a lot more complexity to this than the old one. I'm just slightly silently laughing because I know I set the raid sound to what it is, but it still gives me a heart attack every time it happens. Ooh, nice. So that would be is that the one with the prequel series, or is it the one with the original ones? I'm kind of backwards on which one's which. Oh, good heavens. No, wait, no, that doesn't. Wait, what? Should have had scrambled eggs instead, goodness. No. Okay. Dusk. Why did you missed me? This happens every time when I'm on an angle. Yeah! Nice. I love that one, it's so fun. Ah! Sorry about that. Oh, good heavens. That's a blast. Lego games are so cool. I like that they... okay. Okay, maybe it's just me being old or something like that, and being like, everything's too complex, but I always get like, some of the newer versions of the games are like super complex, and I look at them and I'm like, and I get lost in the sauce. I'll figure it out eventually. I was poking around at it the other day. The old games make me feel nostalgic. Okay, this one's crunchy, hang on. Want to spare everyone from me crunching a fry aggressively. I did not realize that one was going to be so vicious. Girls gotta eat. Ah. It's such a good series. Oh, yeah. GameCube is so fun. I'm so glad that the Wii has backwards compatibility. I don't have the GameCube version though, I think I have the Wii version. I do have the Wii version, I don't have any GameCube controllers. But it's so much fun. When my friends and I used to play it growing up, we take turns because, you know, only two players. And we would just take turns pushing each other into random things or dragging each other around the screen because, you know, they didn't have split screen yet. It was so funny. Oh, it was a good time. It was a beautiful time. I don't want the fries to get cold, so I gotta eat them. Oh no, they're getting cold already. Sad. I'll live. It's not that bad. I think I overdid the salt, though. Just a wee bit. I think we also used to play around with that little customization thing. What's the customization in the older version? I can't, it's been so long. I have very fond memories of all us pushing each other into voids. Punch. It's funny, I was gonna watch a Star Wars movie the other day on Star Wars Day, and then I proceeded to take a nap right after the stream. No joke. I think I was a little tired that day, though. I did try. I did try. And for some reason, I'm watching what might be seen as the opposite. I've been watching a lot of Star Trek lately. Oh. I love them both, honestly. They're both great series. Technically different genres in the Space Zone. I mean, yeah, they're both science fiction, but they both do different things. It's a fun time. There we go. Gotta aim for the navigator door. I've been mixing up my words all week. I called a baby chair a baby gate. I almost mixed it up again. There's like an old high chair from the days of yore still in the house. And of course we have baby gates because we got pups. And sometimes we gotta barricade the pups. Because sometimes they like yelling at folks. And you can't have them yelling at folks when they're visiting. I might have forgotten my B12 today. It's just a multivitamin, but... it's alright. I am so stoked to get to the next level. And then we'll continue the grind! And march our way to level 50. And that's when the fun begins. Woo! On the bright side, I did see a little peek into my future of when I get up to level 70, we're going to be working through like 40,000 XP. So I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be interesting. I discovered that the other day after Xemnas beat me up repeatedly. It's on, I would say on one of the older VODs, but it's also on the YouTube channel. I believe I dedicated a whole stream to that, thank goodness. Yeah, 40k XP between, I think, between level 70 and 71. I noticed it when I was doing a little bit of rage leveling after finally calling it quits, because I didn't want my nerves to get completely shot. Xemnas is my new Ansem. At the time that I was trying to beat Kingdom Hearts 1, I wasn't streaming, but, because I didn't have quite the, I didn't have anything set up for it. But, yeah. Yeah, it's quite the grind. It's so funny. I keep, wasting my time on TikTok, as per usual. Okay, not as per usual, but... Long story short, I keep wasting my time on TikTok, and since I watch a lot of Kingdom Hearts content, you know, your phone reads everything you do, listens to everything, and you know, creepy stalker-like stuff, you know, collects your data, sells it, and then redirects everything to an algorithm and so forth. Anyway, long story short, I keep seeing a lot of streamers doing the level 100 grind in KH1 on the beach, you know, tech points off of Titus? I don't know the correct pronunciation because I only watched somebody play Final Fantasy X in my periphery. It was my roommate in college. That was a really fun experience to watch. It was very hilarious. Shoot, where was it going? Oh, yeah. I totally understand why they are not doing KH2 because... 2,875,578. That is how much XP we gotta go through, and we are currently more than a tenth of the way through at least, so yeah. Yeah, it is quite a dedicated grind. I genuinely respect the folks doing the KH1 grind, because I'm like, oof. Because they don't get the switch back and forth of, they don't get to hear the music switch back and forth. They just constantly hear the, oh, what was the track's name? It was like Party on, no, it wasn't Party on the Beach. It was something on the beach. I can't remember the name. It's in my brain somewhere. But basically, you hear the same track, and you're just fighting. You're fighting. I'm just gonna call him Titus. You're fighting Titus, like just parrying him constantly until you finally get sick of him to like give yourself a break. So you're like constantly on. You can't just breathe. You have to like pause if you want to breathe. Plus, I don't think experience boost is a thing, so very much respecting the grind. Because it is some dedication. Oh boy. Sorry, I'm eating a fry. I don't want my fries to get too cold, because cold fries are okay, but they don't taste as good. You call him Klaus. Is it because he shares a voice actor with a Klaus? Or is it pronouncing it like claws? In the meantime, another fry. Chomp. The German goldfish from American Dad. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. I love voice actors because especially when they have like a huge range. And if they've played a lot of characters, because then you're just like, hey, wait a minute. I know it happens a lot with at least the anime dubbing industry. Every once in a while you're just like, I hear you, Bryce. I know it's you. I know it's you, Bryce. For anyone who's not in context, it's Bryce Papenbrook. He's the voice actor for Eren in Attack on Titan. Does he also voice... Yeah, he voices Meliodas. He also voices Cat Noir. Bunch of characters. Oh, Inosuke from Demon Slayer as well. There we go. There's a general range. I think... Wait, who else did he... Yeah, he was also Makoto Naegi and Nagito Kamaida from Danganronpa. I love how I'm saying that with, like, mild disgust, but... Nagito is a very fascinating character. I bet in real life I would just be like, ugh, every time, but, you know. Yeah. Yeah, he's... Yeah. Yeah, Bryce does a good job in his voice performances. Or like, J. Michael Tatum, I definitely can... I can definitely pick him up. I'm just like, ah, yes. I see you. Mr. I tend to voice characters with black hair and glasses. I'm just thinking of, like, 3 of them. Although that one character... no, wait. No, Sebastian, I don't think he has glasses, unless he's in disguise. But, like, him... what's his name? Ida and Kyoya from Ouran High School Host Club. Which, that one was my first anime. Okay, technically Pokemon was my first anime, but it's kind of hard to say for sure. But the first one that I intentionally sought out as, like, watching as anime, it was Ouran. It was a mess. I was watching it on YouTube. Half the season in English, and then the other half I was watching in Japanese with English subtitles. I have no idea how whole episodes managed to survive on YouTube for that long. It was kind of impressive, actually. But yeah, I love how voice actors have a lot of range, because every once in a while you just point them out and you're just like, oh yeah, this is the same person as another person. It's especially the case with I was gonna say Alan Turing, but that's the computer guy. Well, actually, the guy who solved the Enigma code and then proceeded to get screwed over by England because he was gay. Poor guy. Legend of a man. But no, I think what was it? Alan. Oh, I know his last name. I just have trouble pronouncing it. But Alan, it's spelled T-U-D-Y-K. I'll need to watch that Dropping Names episode that he's in. That one's a podcast, which is actually hosted by 2 of the actors from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Whee! Yeah, but him and D. Bradley Baker are like everywhere, doing all sorts of crazy voices. I think in Alan's case, I think I remember hearing of a quote. Allegedly, he said when voicing Hey Hey and Moana, you know, the chicken. Apparently, he said in the booth, "I went to Juilliard for this." Or it was some prestigious art school that he went to. I can't remember. I want to say Juilliard. Maybe I should Google that. Maybe I'll do a quick Google sesh. We do Google seshes in here. Except I have to type on a keyboard that hates me. Hang on. Wait, crap. I forgot what I was looking up. Oh, there we go. There we go. Found it. Okay. Okay, yeah, he did go to Juilliard. I was right. Yay! I actually remembered things. I'm just kidding. I do have a little bit. I've actually gotten a lot better memory over time. The more I do the streaming. I have not done as much mathematics calculations. I used to regularly do mathematics calculations on stream. I was probably driving myself mad, but I've gotten really, really good at doing dividing by 8s. It is very funny. So like for a rough estimate, we have about 100 and something dusks left, because that's 14. Yeah, it's a little... It's more like okay, 14, 8, okay, leftover is 6, 68, yeah, that's 68, yeah, 1480, okay, 68, and that's, yeah, 280, and then leftover is 40, 285, of course, not anymore, ow, now it's 284, 3 and 2, nice. It's a rough estimate, though, with the mathematics, because obviously not everything is going to divide evenly by 8. I would wish, but it won't. I can manipulate the 4s and 8s to make it come out even. That's always a fun time. I think I did that like 4 or 5 times just on Tuesday alone. Just because I really wanted to see the flat, like, it was 5,000, I was at 5,000 flat, then 4,000, then 3,000, no. What did I start at that last time? No, I started at 8,000, got all the way down to 4,000 because I wanted to be at 4,000 flat, and then I was like, well, what if I go to 3? And then I got down to 2,700, and I'm like, okay. Because I was on a roll. I was on a roll. It was beautiful. On a really good day, I can get about maybe, yeah, 5,300 was a really good day. And that was even with having more than half health, which only gives me 4 XP, whereas if I have half health or less, I get 8. There might be a time penalty that I get from it, not necessarily an in-game time penalty, it's more of like, it just takes a little bit longer because I have to take the time to take some damage. It feels worth it, though. I quite like it. It's a blast. Another fry. There's like 4 fries and 1 piece of chicken left. The chicken is the part that's worrying me. I think I'm just gonna have to mute when I eat that. Because nobody wants to hear that, right? What a beautiful day. Very beautiful day, in fact, actually. Had some nice weather. Remembered my sunscreen so that I wouldn't get sunburned while doing yard work. Managed to push myself through the yard work. Love doing it, though. There are some days where I'm like, oh, this again. And then after a while of, like, once I get it done, I'm just like, yes! I get to see the beauty of the silly patterns I draw on my lawn, because sometimes I draw funny little patterns, like spirals. I just draw them with the mower by whatever direction I mow in the grass. There was one time, and I kind of hated doing it, so I never did it again. There was this one time, I think I basically did a pattern that crossed over multiple times, and I'm like, well, that was a waste of gasoline, because I have a gas-powered mower. It still works, so that's why I'm using it. I'm not gonna just get rid of something just because of efficiency or whatever. Although I'm like, maybe I should start eyeballing a battery-powered one, because when you're an American, you're suffering through the highest gas prices known to man. Although I think that's the case for a lot of folks. It might not just be Americans, but good lord. I almost cried filling up my tank just the other day. I took one look at that. I was like, oh. Oh no. Oh no, bro. It's fine though. It's fine. I'll live. We'll live. We'll survive. Yeah. I can scale down to rice and beans if needed. Green beans specifically. I can't do the other types of beans that are usually like in like burritos. It's just either that or I haven't learned how to cook them in a way that's appealing yet. That's actually come across a lot whenever I make certain vegetables or fruits or something like that. Although I don't think cooking fruit, I don't particularly enjoy that, so maybe that's just a lost cause. But half the time whenever I've like been like, I don't think I like this vegetable, half the time it's just, oh, I haven't had it in a delicious way yet, or it's like too soft and squishy. Which is really funny because I like mashed potatoes, but it's different. Mashed potatoes are very different from smushed up vegetables. I'm detecting that this fry is slightly crunchy. Don't think. Nope, I got away with it. I'm a genius. Maybe. Did I shake him out? Oh dear, I did. Yay, 99 potions, again. I'm sure some folks are familiar with this, but 99 is the max amount of potions that you can have. So every time I pick up a potion, it's just literally me clearing the board. It does not matter. Oh, nice! I think that was a twofer there. There was only one time that I've gotten, like, I took out, like, 3 dusks all at once. It was very beautiful. It was a very beautiful experience. I loved it. I need to take a sip of water because I have been eating an awful amount of salt. Oh my goodness, water is good for the soul. Well, you know what they say, hydrate or dihydrate. I don't think that's actually a regular saying, but I heard it once on a server that I was on for like 10 to 20 minutes that was having a war over whether or not to drink water. It was just a joke war. Not really serious. But it was very funny, and the hydrate or dihydrate thing has stuck with me ever since. Ooh, nice. Ooh, we're getting close to the last 1000 XP. Dropping from 4 digits to 3 digits. And then I can do some extra silly things with math. Are you gonna attack me, or are you... Okay, he's just doing his dance moves before he attacks. These discs are so funny sometimes. I was trying to figure out their movement patterns to determine whether or not they're gonna do the dip and spin and hit you with their legs, or if they're gonna do the headbutt thing. I've yet to figure out the positioning, like if it depends on the camera or it depends on Roxas's position when it's just before it starts the animation. I do recognize that within a certain amount of space, the dusks hop up into the air and do what I call their volleyball trick. Like if I'm a certain distance away, they'll do that. Well, that was interesting. That one did a backflip. Okay. Okay. Yeah, see, I'm still trying to figure it out. Still haven't figured it out. I think I'd have an easier time just trying to dig into the source code, but I would have to do some shenanigans to be able to take a look at that. I'm not too familiar with messing around with game console files. Or any game files, actually. The only thing I've modded is Minecraft, and that was just with mods that other people have made. I haven't really poked around directly into the game's code. I'm a little scared too. Even though I think I'd have a little bit easier time with Java because I do have some knowledge of it. That's what a computer science degree is for, supposedly. I was probably supposed to learn Python by the time I finished, but man, that was a mess. That was a chaotic mess, actually. Goodness sakes. Worth it! I do still have my old instruction book for Java. It's definitely out of date by now, but I could probably give it a read and brush up. Be worth a go. Keep saying I'll brush up on it, but I haven't gotten around to it. And that's the last fry. Although I'm still working on it. It's a long fry. How big was this potato anyway? Holy crap. Or did they actually cut it from a potato, or did they just... Or did they just shape it? The world needs How It's Made reruns. For anyone unfamiliar, How It's Made is a series that takes you through factories and explains, well, how is... what's a good example? What's a really good episode? There was one that was like of these layered candles, like these super layered candles that had these pretty cool design things. These really, really fancy looking candles. I don't think I would want to burn those just because of the way that they're shaped, but it was really cool. Actually, maybe it would be fine. What's another one? Did they do one about... No, did they do one about crayons? I don't know if they did one about crayons. I'm pretty sure they did one about pencils. There was a couple of other ones. I wonder if there's still... There's probably some archive out there of the How It's Made episodes, because they're really good and they're really fun to watch. I grew up on that. Instead of cartoons on Saturday morning, I would boot up the Weather Channel and watch the local on the 8s. I was a weird weather-obsessed kid, but it was great. I learned all the names of the clouds. I even went to a weather spotting class. I still have the certificate. Yeah, I just spotted the certificate in the corner. Not hanging up anymore. Maybe I'll hang it up. I'm about due to add a random decoration to my wall. I'll put it above... Yeah, I'll put it above the clock that is not running because I don't like the ticking noise. That'll be a good one, right? It's in a frame. Maybe I'll put my degree up there too. At least so then I can be like, yeah, I did that. I spent years of college and thousands of dollars, which I was very, very lucky to have saved up over time prior to my college years. So I didn't graduate with debt. I am a very lucky human. Yeah. I should be proud of that, because right now the degree is still sitting in the envelope that was, that delivered it. Between the piano and the fridge where I keep my extra snacks. The snacks are mostly 2 bottles of Mountain Dew. The butter I keep in storage because I know I use at least 2 sticks of butter every time I make waffles. And the occasional whatever meat I'm defrosting from the freezer. I could use the kitchen fridge. I just like having the mini fridge where it has a separate freezer and then I can hide my extra snacks. It also works because I was able to hide a food-related surprise for my mom on Mother's Day. I was able to hide it, and then I didn't remove it in time when she got home. I was gonna surprise her with it and have the card like in front of it, but I didn't pull it out of the main fridge in time because I was like, okay, I gotta move it downstairs and then I'll move it out so then it can be like surprise. And oh well, it still worked out. Still worked out. It's part of the fun. I didn't give my mom flowers for Mother's Day. I got her a snack. A snack that she liked, by the way. Actually, it's a particular drink that she likes. She likes this particular cherry juice. She's very fond of it, and so I'm like, I should get her some. And I did, and I'm very glad I did, because I'm like, this is something that she'll enjoy and that she can use. Ooh, we're in the 800s. Although that says 52. Hang on, let me take out one of these guys so then... Okay, there we go. Now we just gotta stay only 8s for the entirety of the remaining XP. Wait, where'd he go? Bro, can you attack me, please? I would like... Thank you. There we go. Because now it's 100... Nope. Yes? 105. Yeah, 105 dusks remaining. And then by the time these 3 are done, it should be 102. This is provided I don't do any 4s. I will not be sad if I do any 4s by accident. I will just proceed to get a second 4 if I get one. Because I think it'll be really funny if I manage to get it evenly. It's one of the ways I pass the time when I'm going back and forth here. Other than talking away about random different things, like sometimes I talk about little art things that I do or I'm thinking about doing. I still haven't touched the polymer clay idea. To be fair, I don't think I have the space for it right now. I still need to eliminate, there's like cards that I was gonna paint on and then proceeded not to paint on them. Maybe I should paint on one. Or draw on it. Something. I want to draw on one of the... I'm gonna draw on one of the cards after the stream. That'll be good. I'll do that. It'll be fun. Yeah. I do understand, though, why most folks do not pay attention to the numbers, because it drives them nuts. And just reminds them, oh man, it's really far away. I did have a moment of existential crisis and being like, oh man, this is insurmountable when I was like looking at the numbers the other day, because I have a very bad habit, very bad habit of being like, hey, how much do I have left in total? And then I instantly regret doing the math for it, and I'm like, what? Why would I do that? Why did I do that to myself? And then shortly after, I'm like, I'm gonna remember level by level. So it's all good. It's all good. We're making the grind. It's a good time. A chaotic time. Sometimes a grindy time. A repetitive time. Oh. He ran away. The dust got sick of me. That's okay. Come here. Come on. Give me a hit. Thank you. Oh, okay. That works. I don't actually know if I'm on target anymore, but that's okay. I'm having fun. Genuinely, this is unbelievably entertaining for my brain. I do not know why. Never mind, I do know why. I like the repetitiveness. I like that I'm, regardless, making progress. And on occasion, these dusks give me a run for my money, and I whiff my combos. I'm not particularly very good at this game. Maybe a few years ago I would have been able to handle critical mode, but that ship has sailed. So I'm gonna have a very interesting time once I get to level 99 and start actually playing through the game. I'm also gonna see if I can... Oh, darn. That's a 4. Anyway. It's gonna be very, very interesting, to say the least. I could have also learned how to strategize by then. I have plenty of time to learn how to strategize. And hopefully beat my original playthrough of KH2 because, I still haven't done that. Xemnas is mean to me. He bullied me. I didn't cry. I just fried my nerves so bad that I was like, okay, we're not having a repeat. I will live and try again another day. And it was good. Oh, that's what I was saying. I was gonna say, these guys like to, every once in a while, they get super aggressive and try to take out my HP. I have actually died to these fellows, partially because I wasn't paying attention and didn't have at least one hand on the controller. Because I was like, oh, I can just drink a little water. It'll be fine, and then dead. I'm just like, oh, that's embarrassing, because I'm like at level 30 or 40 something, and I die because I wasn't paying attention. That's on me, though. Chances are I will experience that. I am actually trying not to do that anymore, though. Because then it's just a bit ridiculous. Oh gosh darn, the piece of chicken is the only thing that's left. I'm gonna control the game with one hand. I am probably gonna mute just because I don't... Yeah, I wanna eat this without having you guys having to hear it. So 1 second while I play this and eat chicken at the same time. Wish me luck. Okay, there we go. I just figured no one wanted to hear me trying to eat a piece of chicken in the middle of that, so... Where did my water bottle go? Okay, I'm calling it now. This is gonna be a part where I accidentally get myself killed. Because I really wanted water. Nice. We are making progress. Okay, I actually do need to whack one of these fellas. Okay, there we go. Come on. A little bit more damage, please. Por favor. It's so silly. Poor Roxas has to take so much damage. He has no idea why. He's like, why am I taking so much damage? I don't want to die. But Roxas, you're getting more XP out of this. You'll be stronger. Oh, speaking of which, I looked away for half a second and I'm almost out of health. There we go, just enough to get by. Perfect. It's really funny about this in particular because I actually started streaming this when I was, okay, there was actually a period of time where I did a little bit of streaming it. There was like maybe a clip or two somewhere out there that I saved. But like in the most recent, once I start, consistent streaming started back in like late September and I was at level 19, so I started it a few years ago, but then I was like, maybe I should probably finish my degree before I do anything chaotic. And then finally I'm like, hey, I want to stream. What's something that I can do consistently so then I can get used to a schedule? Level grind. Bam! And now I am here. Level grinding. But I've come a long way. I mean, I'm also at level 49. That's 30 levels. I don't know how... Okay, that's... October, November, December... January, February, March, April, May. That's 8 months. Nice! 30 levels in 8 months? That's good. And that was with a couple of vacation breaks, partially because of... Or like occasional, oh dear lord, I am not well. Or just spending time with family. Like, for example, during like the Christmas holidays, winter holidays, I was spending time with family. I was like, okay, family's in town. I'm gonna be social and actually hang out with my family. I'm not gonna stream. That way I can focus on being with my fam. Totally worth it. Very much worth it, yeah. Okay. Okay. We are about to get below 400 XP remaining. Oh, geez, that injury stings. I scraped my hand on a tree just this afternoon. It was kind of painful. I'm okay, though. It just kind of stings. I'll touch up the wound care a little later, because it's mild. It's technically a superficial injury, nothing too serious. Just a little scrape, that's all. Mild abrasion, if you will. Doesn't stop it from mildly hurting. That's okay. More like a sting. Pain is weird like that. So nice. 352. Woo! Very nice indeed. I am so stoked to switch that little number in the marquee. It's gonna be so nice. And then I'll start making progress towards level 50! Yay! Oh dear, it's gonna be so funny. I am so stoked for the day that I get to level 99. Because on that day, I am probably gonna be as completely silly as possible. I'm probably gonna cackle like a maniac, which I have done when I've beaten a boss before, but this will just be very, very trivial. I'm hoping I just one-cycle him. It'll probably just be I do the reaction commands once, and then I just do the reaction commands again. I did do a test run at level 35 just to make sure that I wouldn't break the game. I can't remember. I can't believe I forgot what the word game was. Goodness sakes. But I did do a test at level 35, and I can't remember if it was Shinigami or someone else, but someone who had chatted before has informed me that it will not break the game being at level 99. Just Donald and Goofy will be underleveled. So it'll be very, very funny. I'm gonna let them do some of the work. I'm just gonna be like, I'm just fine. You can take these guys on. I'm just kidding. I am so stoked to shred through everything like butter. I hope the XP gets just mainly dispersed to them and doesn't get wasted on me though, because that would kind of suck. I wonder how they program the distribution. Man, I would so have loved to be if I could probably figure out a no. Part of me is thinking maybe, just maybe, if I have enough audacity, I could find a way to get some kind of interview with at least someone on the team who did the programming for KH2. It would be so cool to do that and just ask them all sorts of fun questions like, so how does for example, how does the XP distribution go in Kingdom Hearts 2? How does that work? Was it different between the original version and Final Mix? Like, those little things are their game mechanics are fun, and I like learning how they work. Or, oh, you know what's be a really fun question is, a really great question would be, were there any bugs that were, like, especially frustrating? And then the other question is, were there any bugs that are absolutely silly? I think those two questions would be so fun. Where, like, if there was a problem in the program that was absolutely just totally silly, wouldn't fit with the game, but it's very funny to see. I would try to word it in a way that that's like easy to understand and easy to translate. Because my knowledge of the Japanese language is very limited. It's limited to a few, like, 12 karate stances, a few names of some kata, and I can count to 10, including the forbidden version of saying the word for. And I think I mildly know how to introduce myself because I looked it up one time and practiced. I think. Yeah. Yeah, I did. I did. It was very interesting. Yeah. I think I'd have better luck trying to speak to someone in Spanish. Will I probably not say the words correctly? Okay, I can pronounce things in Spanish. The problem for me speaking Spanish is that I know some of the words and I can kind of glean what to say, but either I'm too scared or too out of practice to be able to hold a conversation. I would have to speak and listen very slowly. Kind of reminds... Was it Modern Family? It kind of reminds me of that one episode... Was it Gloria? I think it was Gloria in Modern Family where she talked about... I think she said, do you have any idea how smart I am in Spanish? You know, because, like, when... Like... Okay, this is from the perspective of somebody who grew up primary language is English. Everybody has their own thoughts in the language that they grew up in and stuff like that. So, like, for example, if you're from Mexico or Guatemala or Panama? They speak Spanish in Panama, right? I need to study more countries. I'm rusty. But, like, for example, if you live in Mexico, your primary language is probably Spanish. So you're probably going to be thinking in Spanish, because obviously that's the language you know, that's what you grew up in. So you're thinking in Spanish, and then you have to think about it for a second and translate it in your head if you've, like, had English as a second language. Like, shoot, when I try to say something in Spanish, I have to think ahead of time, okay, what am I trying to say, and then try to translate it, and then I say it. It's extra funny that I'm saying it in this particular way because I am not the first person to address it, like, how the language barrier works and, like, processing things. Because Dan of Game Grumps talked about how his dad, since his first language is Hebrew, he thinks in Hebrew and then has to translate it and then he says it and stuff. Thanks, Dan, for giving me a way to illustrate my language shenanigans and everybody's language shenanigans when they're speaking a different language than the one they grew up in. It's fun. Whew. Language learning is fun. Part of me wishes that I was able to dedicate a lot more. Okay, I do have more time to dedicate to learning Spanish. I think I was given a better language learning resource than Duolingo, because it doesn't necessarily do the job for language learning. This is the last one. BAM! We've leveled up. Yes, yes, exactly, Shinigami. Oh my gosh, we're at level 49. You know what that means. It is time to update the little marquee at the top of the screen. For some reason, I also like calling it a ticker tape. I don't know where I got it from. Sounds like one of those older words. Those older words, okay. Do I need to refresh the overlay? Yeah, I need to refresh the overlay. I broke it again. Did I break it? Come on, overlay. Please work with me. I broke it. Congratulations, I broke the overlay. Yeah, I'm just gonna save the page and then close it, so then it'll... Come on, refresh. Okay, it's just gonna not scroll. Cool. Thank you, Settlements. Yeah. Yeah. One day I will practice more Spanish so that way I can speak to more people. And then also listen to gossip, 'cause that's fun. And then whenever I listen to somebody speaking in Spanish, when my brain starts to try to code switch and speak Spanish, there will actually be words for me to put in. Instead of my brain drawing a blank constantly and being like, I want to speak in the language that they're speaking, but there is no information to pull there. It is blank. I'm trying to remember if there was a time where I have drawn a blank with a language. It wasn't Spanish, it was a different one. Maybe, no, maybe it was Italian. No, I didn't. I completely spaced on it. I know I have a screenshot. I screenshotted the chat to remember it. I know I did that. Let me actually check that. I know I have it somewhere. Where'd it go? Where is it? Where are my screenshots? Somebody ate them. It's somewhere. Yes, there it is. You know what? Since you brought that up, I'm gonna get it downloaded so that I don't forget it this time, because I've learned over time if I want to get something done, I need to do it like now. No, that's transfer, not translator. Transfer. There it is. It's the one with the two brains and the gears, right? I think that's the one. I'm working blind. This is what I get for using my cell phone to monitor Twitch. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for reminding me of that, because I had forgotten. That's not Twitch. I mixed up the screenshot of the chat to help me remember with the actual Twitch chat. It was kind of funny. There we go. Yay! Thank you for reminding me of that, and I'm also glad that I brought up languages again, because Double the remember. I have downloaded it now, so now I will actually start digging away at it. Digging away at it? More like working on it. I'm working on getting in the habit of getting things done immediately. That is now part of it. Like, okay, if I'm gonna do a thing, I need to set up the tools and stuff. Like, for example, shoe replacement. I had to replace some shoes. Took care of it almost immediately because I'm getting real tired of looking at those dang shoes. I do have to break in the new ones, though, so... The old ones will get at least 1 or 2 more uses out of them, and then once I'm comfortable in the new ones, they will become the yard shoes. Yeah. By the way, thanks again, Shinigami, for recommending the app in the first place. Because... it's definitely gonna work better than whatever Duolingo's doing, especially since I literally stopped using it when they were like, hey, we're gonna use AI now, and I'm like, no, don't do that. That doesn't help. It's gonna make it worse. Yeah. Whee! Yeah. I just remembered, I can't remember if I told this story before, but once upon a time, I was in Spanish class in high school, and I had just been, because of the way the schedule set up, it was a weirdly set up schedule in high school. Anyway. So different class periods, different times. So I ended up in a class with a bunch of seniors as a junior. And I was basically moved out of my usual class with everybody else just because of how my schedule worked out. But it was the same class level. And there were a couple of people that I did know, thank goodness. And we decided to group up for a project. Basically, we do a skit that's in Spanish. So we decided to do a Doctor Who parody episode. Or at least just like what would have been the intro. I got to speak briefly about, I was basically the shopkeeper in a store. We had a lady doctor before it was cool. And I got to scream really loud in a utility closet in the classroom. There was a utility closet connected to the classroom, and it was really funny. It was a good time. The other story part that's really, really funny about that is that same group when we were working on the project, at one point, I said, the guy in the group, he had said something and it sounded like I basically commented that he said it in a sing-song voice. Mans breaks into song based off of that. We are in class working on separate projects. Our school was so freaking weird. I love it. And our other partner joins in. And at some point in the song, they both in unison ask me if I wanted to join them in singing in a sing-song voice. And I said, I guess I don't have a choice. And then we did a 3-part harmony and it was amazing. And I wish somebody had recorded it because it was the best and most in sync I have ever been with people in my life. It would have been extra funny if we were singing in Spanish, but no. But it was in a Spanish class and it was very fun. Most connected I've ever been with people. One of them mildly introduced me to Homestuck. I never actually got around to reading it, but they did introduce me to the whole class spec thing, and I was very confused, but I was very intrigued at the same time. I was like, oh, this is fascinating. Again, I went to a very interesting and weird school, but there are limits on details because it will single out the school, unfortunately. It was a good time, though. Very good time. The only reason I miss it is because I miss the fun parts. I don't miss being that age. And I'm okay with having graduated. I actually am okay with having graduated and moved on with life and everything. Basically, I have the happy memories. I'm like, man, those were fun. The happy memories. The crappy memories, I'm okay with. I'm okay with ditching those. I mean, I think that's the case with everyone. Everyone has good memories. Well, maybe a few, depending on how your experience was. And then others have pretty good times, and some have really sucky times. Yeah. I think that would be around the age, if you're in the UK, that would be college, right? They call it college over there when you're like... I need to do more studying on the UK school system. Just for the knowledge. That way I can do basic translation across the board when talking about different school systems. It's also good to get to know cultural context of other places. Because then it helps you, it informs you of others' experiences as well. Which is great. Because then you can connect with people. And get to know them as people. Oh, there's a plane and it's flying very high. Hello, plane. It is very, very high in the sky because it's leaving a nice little cloud trail behind. I know that's not what it's called. But it's a nice little cloud trail and it's beautiful. Whee! The heck? I can't believe I forgot that I turned on a light. I was like, maybe I should turn on that lamp. Nope, I already turned on the lamp. I don't know why I forgot. Oh, I got a funny story. So, just yesterday, my mother and I, we like to watch Frieren. So, I finally got around to, like, we actually finally had time to be able to watch it. We only got to, like, 2 episodes in to the 2nd season. There's only 10 of them out right now. We got 2 episodes in, and, like, partway through the 2nd one, I noticed something skittering on my ceiling. A spider. And she's just like, oh, just leave it. We look away for, like, a few minutes, and you know what happens when you look away from a spider after spotting it? It disappears, and I have no idea where it is. So I'm just like, welp. That's gonna be a problem for me when I try to sleep tonight. Lucky for me, I was just chilling, relaxing. Ma had already gone to bed or was getting ready for bed for the night. I spot the spider skittering on the ceiling while I'm staring up. I have a Nerf gun. And since I've gotten the Nerf gun, I have shot at a total of 3 spiders on the ceiling in my house. This one was the 3rd one. And so I'm like, I fire once, totally miss. Like, I'm like off by a couple inches, and then I try to do a little bit of adjustment, slightly miss again, because it skitters away, it doesn't want to get shot. And then the 3rd shot, I can't tell if there was a double shot in there, but it definitely went off 3 times. I shot 3 times, totally missed all 3. And then it just decided to descend. I think it was trying to, like, hide in the carpet, because it was the same color as the carpet, kind of a tannish color. Spider hides in the carpet. And, okay, I feel bad on behalf of those who are like, no, don't kill the spider, just take it outside. Unfortunately, anything that invades my room and is likely to touch my bed, or if it happens to show up in a spot in the bathroom, like, for example, if it shows up in the shower and I'm about to take a shower, the spider is going to die. I'm sorry. You have invaded my personal space and you are likely to disrupt my sleep. You cannot. I am not a fan of the bugs getting in my space. Anyway, long story short, I got it with a notebook. And then I gave it a ceremonial burial. So, spiders! But it is not the first, and it will not be the last that I square up using the Nerf gun. It is still the funniest thing ever. The first incident was more funny. The first incident with the Nerf gun, like, I was kind of walking back and forth down the hall, and I saw the spider. And at one point, I saw it turning to face me every time I passed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this spider is trying to square up with me. And I'm like, really? You want to go? You want to go? Okay. So I missed once. I missed the second time. The third time, bam, gone. I have no idea where the spider is. A few hours later, I find it at the opposite end of the hall, and then I finally got rid of it and, of course, gave it a proper resting place. But, yeah. Yeah, I will always go after them with Nerf guns because, only if they're on the ceiling. And I only do that because it's long range, which makes it less likely for it to drop directly on me. Because it used to be that I would try to get at it with a shoe or a notebook, and that was always a hit or miss because my hand is like right next to it. Long range, I'm just like, I feel a little bit safer. Does it mean that I miss? Yeah. The second incident was embarrassing, actually. I still see a remnant on the ceiling. I should probably I'll clean that. No, wait. No, it's gone. Never mind. That's no, that's something else. No, that's just a bug. I'll get it later. It's not a spider soul. Oh dear God, did it break? No, wait. Hang on. Let me check something. Let me fix that. My Twitch app broke again. Which I don't technically mind because it's still streaming. But I do mind when I want to actually see what's going on my stream. Oh dear God, please tell me it didn't crash. There we go. Alright, there we go. I fixed it. My Twitch app is mean to me on my phone. It's just the mobile app. It's mean like that. It bullies me. It's like, oh no, you looked away from me. I must be the only one in your life. You cannot look away from me. I must freeze the screen to show how much, and make you show how much you appreciate me by making you reboot the entire app just so that way you can watch the stream that you were just babysitting. Or just watching it. It's mean to me. Actually, no. When I'm not in mod view, it actually does the picture-in-picture mode. So it's literally just when I'm in mod view. It's just like, oh, you're not babysitting? Well then, time to freeze the screen and make you question whether everything's working. But since I set things up with the desktop, I used to stream off of a laptop, which, by the way, would crash anytime if it ran. It could run Destiny 2, but it would crash when the cutscenes ran. That should give you an indicator, and also the Wi-Fi adapter is kind of screwy on the laptop. Since I switched over to the desktop, which I should have switched over to it ages ago, I'm so glad I finally did. I have not, hang on, let me knock on my piano bench before I say anything. Knock on wood. I have not had any major crashes since. The only slight crash I had was when I was still doing, like, directly also recording the live streams while I was streaming. Because I like to keep backups on my streams just in case I'm like, oh hey, that was kind of funny, or oh hey, maybe I'll pull something for this later. Also, I just like keeping an archive of my streams. It could be a good habit, could be a bad habit, who knows. I will find out in the future. But there was only like one incident where I think, my bet is my hard drive that I record to, I think that disconnected briefly, so that was the only like crash issue. And then it corrupted several files, and that was kind of sucky because it also broke one of my videos for a second. And then I managed to salvage it because, lucky for me, I still have my streams on the YouTube side as well. I have backups upon backups, thank goodness. I should probably still have a third backup option that is a little bit less susceptible to shenanigans. Speaking of shenanigans, guess who needs water? Me. Gotta hydrate. Okay, that might have been a little too much hydrate, but I I really needed the water. I'm pretty sure I haven't drank in a little bit, so. Ah, water. The best thing in the world. When it tastes good. And when it's not contaminated. When it's contaminated, it sucks. Very much. I'm gonna put that idea to the side for later. It's just, there was a thought related to like water contamination, water filters. Lots of different ways to actually deal with water and stuff like that. Shoot, I think I have a camping and wilderness survival book that it used to be my dad's, which is kind of depressing because I'm pretty sure I got it for him for his birthday at one point, and it got passed back to me. But in there it's got some pretty cool stuff, and I think it has some stuff about like where to source your water. Like obviously don't pick standing water, pick running water. What else? Boiling it is a good way to get rid of any bacteria and stuff like that. I believe there's also, I think is it iodine tablets? I can't remember if it's iodine tablets or there's something to do with iodine. Does it make the tap water taste a little weird? Kinda, but if you're trying to live, you're gonna want that. And you're gonna want to be able to boil your water, which means you gotta know how to start a fire safely, obviously. Yeah. It's a fun little book. Okay, I say it's a fun little book, and I'm looking at that thing. It is like an inch thick, and it is tall. It is a tall book. It's... Is it a foot-long book? Foot-long. Either way, it's kind of a big book, actually. Oh, into the wall I go. Come on, bring it on. Bring it on. Nice. Oh, the cloud is dispersing. Oh, that's fascinating. I'm looking at the, I'm just gonna call it a contrail, but I'm looking at the contrail left by that airplane I was talking about earlier. And one section of the contrail is like really fluffy, and then the other part of it is relatively steady. That is very fascinating. I wonder how that works. I should have gone into like atmospheric sciences or something. I could still do that. It'd be a little bit trickier because, fun fact, if you complete your bachelor's degree, you can't get Pell Grants. So I can no longer get Pell Grants if I go back to school, which sucks. Because schooling is expensive. At least, okay, it's mainly in the US that schooling is expensive. I mean, there's other ways to get scholarships, but... Yeah. But yeah, that is a fun fact to learn. I could still learn stuff. I've been thinking about either auditing and possibly getting a certificate in class. I can't remember if Harvard has a decent rep or if they're too involved in really sketchy stuff, like if their name's on too many sketchy documents, if you know what I'm talking about, to like have anything. But there are free courses that come from their free online courses. You go through that and then you can like audit it. So then I'm not familiar with the process of auditing a class. I think it's like you attend a class, but you don't necessarily get a credit, just because you haven't really paid for it. But you still get to learn this stuff, I think. I should really get more familiar with some of this stuff. This is what I get for being an observer for way too long. Even though I exist, I still observe. And then I wonder why I'm confused about some things. It's okay, it's a part of learning. Gotta learn. And I'm very glad that I still have a hunger for learning, because that means that I will continue to make progress. Hi, puppy! Is everything okay? Come on. One of my puppies might be seeking attention, or just might be seeking, oh, there we go. This is a good puppy. Yes, you're a good dog. I keep thinking that the numbers are uneven. I've been so used to uneven numbers for a while that now I'm just really confused as to why I've gotten like 3 uneven numbers in a row. Also, I just realized we got a new ability out of that and I didn't even look at it. Let's take a look at it real quick before I do anything else. The triangle is not the button. Ba-da-da-da. Was there actually? I think it was finishing. It was another finishing plus. Nice, we got 2 finishing pluses. There we go. Here's a good puppy. You know, there's another good reason for learning how to use your game controller with only one hand. So then you can pet your precious puppies and kitties and other pets while you play your games. Sorry, I'll stop the baby voice. It's just so cute. It's so sweet. You make my heart go ee and explode. Because cute. Yeah. The pup that is currently next to me, she actually helped me finish my last couple of years of college. She is the main reason I went to my classes, because you know how you get towards the end of like a really long journey and you're just really tired and done with it? That's how I was feeling with college, or university, I guess, technically. But that's how I was getting. So thank goodness she was there, because obviously she needed to get out of bed, she needed to go outside, have breakfast, we'd go on a walk. We were in a decent enough area that we could go on walks. And I even got permission to take her to class with me. She was very loved in our math class, super loved in our math class. There was one time I took her back from class because one of the smoke alarms, its batteries had gone out, and she is not a big fan of the chirping sound. So I took her home because she was like super anxious about it, and they're like, "Oh, I hope she's okay." And I'm like, "Oh, my baby girl is so loved." She also was like probably a huge like help just being there in class, because I don't think she was supposed to do this, but she was kind of acting as a comfort for everybody. Because anybody who I sat next to, she would allow them to pet her. And this was a very big deal, because most times she does not let people just pet her immediately. She's like, you basically have to be in proximity with her for a little while before she's like, "Yeah, okay, I'll let you pet me. You have my permission to give me attention." She's a good dog. Aren't ya? Aren't ya? And nowadays she wakes me up in the mornings and lets me know, "Hey, it's time for the morning pets." And she paws at my bed to wake me up and says, "Excuse me." And sometimes she hops on the bed, so then she gets pet. She's allowed. She doesn't actually jump on the bed as much as she used to. She used to do it a lot more. And then she had a little bit of a health issue, which made me not want to have her on the bed, just because. And then we managed to resolve said issues. That was good. That was very good. I'm glad we got that taken care of. She was not having a fun time with that either. But she still hops on the bed. Sometimes, if I leave the room long enough, like if I leave my room long enough, I will walk back in and she'll just be chilling on my bed like, "Oh, hey, I didn't know you were home." And she just kind of stares at me, and then I give her some pets, and I'm like, "Oh, you're such a good girl. You're such a good girl, aren't you?" Oh, I love my dogs. There's more than one. So precious. So sweet. So soft, too. Oh my gosh. Maybe I should do some extra brushings later. Extra brushings for that very nice coat. Okay, baby. I do want to use 2 hands, but the constant internal divide between wanting to pet my pup and also continue leveling up efficiently. I mean, I can still play with 1 hand on the controller. I can still do that. This is what I was training for. This is the exact scenario I was training for. It's not just for the possible loss of a hand, it's also for multitasking. It's also for occasionally when I decide to cook? Hello? When I decide to whip up a cup of hot chocolate, then I can drink the hot chocolate with 1 hand and then play the game with the other. Usually I just wait until I've taken out some dusks, though, to take a sip, because playing a game while... Oh, hang on a second, there's a hiccup there, that hurt. Playing a game while trying to drink a hot beverage is technically unwise to do. It's better to just take a moment to actually drink your drink. It's a safety precaution, honestly. Oh, what a beautiful time. Oh, we've made so much progress. I'm so stoked. We were about 2,700 in, if I remember. Yeah, we were 2,700 at the beginning of the stream. That was how much was remaining till level 49. Now we're at level 49. The UI is still broken. The overlay. Actually, I'm gonna try refreshing the overlay again. Maybe I'll turn it off and on again. Hang on, chat. It's bugging me really bad. Please, for the love of God, just refresh. Why are you broken? Okay, it's staying broken. It's probably... I hit the save button twice, which was probably a huge mistake. It was just like, oh no, you hit the save button twice. Did I already take these guys out? Yeah, I did. Okay. I got distracted by the overlay. It was bugging me again. It'll be just fine by the next time I boot up OBS. Like, when I set up for stream tomorrow, it'll be like, oh, everything's fine and dandy, and I'll be like, yeah, I believe that. It is actually fine and dandy. It just throws a fit sometimes. Hopefully it doesn't cause me too many problems. Like, I hope I don't miss anything, because that would be not good. Okay. I just had to make sure that something didn't break again. Oh, this thing can unplug now. Yay! My phone was at 15%, like, half an hour or so before the stream, and I'm like, I need to charge my phone so then I can actually keep an eye on things. Because I keep an eye on the Twitch stream, and I also keep an eye on the YouTube stream as well, just to make sure that both are working and functional. And I'm able to see my OBS. It's pretty steady. I don't have to yell at my device anymore, thank goodness. But I did used to have to yell at the laptop just whenever it was not behaving. At one point it just finally was like, nope, I'm done. No thank you. Like, fine, I give up. And then I did the setup, and now I'm like, why didn't I do this sooner? It also forced me to rearrange my room a little bit, because my former nightstand is now where the desktop is. It wasn't technically a nightstand, it was one of those portable fold-out desks, but it all worked out. The rearrangement is very satisfactory, actually. Plus, whenever I work at the desktop, the chair that I use, it's not technically a chair, it's one of those little storage bin thingies, little storage things. And it's not super fun, it's not super comfortable, like, it's comfortable to sit on, but not for, like, long periods of time. So it forces me to get my work done immediately. So I can leave the seat. Like, for example, the next time I edit, it'll persuade me to get a bunch of editing done as soon as I can. There we go. As soon as can. I dropped in. There's a pronoun that dropped there. Did you know? No, wait. I is a pronoun. Is I a pronoun? I want to search that now. Is I a pronoun? Let me take out these two before I search that, because I don't want to axe myself from that. That'd be a silly thing. Oh, what death was this from? I was searching whether or not the word I was a pronoun. Is I a... Thank you for listening to me so creepily, tablet. Yes, it is the singular first-person pronoun according to Wikipedia, which is very aggressively protected from vandalization, actually. Did you know if you've caused enough problems on Wikipedia, there's like a group IP ban that goes on? It does hit some innocent folks. But otherwise, yeah, get IP banned. Or if there's like an editing war, they just lock up a thing and shoot, I think, if I remember right, there's a couple of celebrities where their birth date was accidentally listed wrong and they couldn't fix it. So they actually went on an interview to just say, no, my birth date is this, so then they could fix their Wikipedia page and have the source in there to back it up. They are very strict about, Wikipedia is very strict about their sources. If you want to find sources for, like, some of the stuff and topics in there, what you do is you go to the page of the thing you're looking at, and then the little number indicators that are in there, you scroll to the bottom, and the little numbers next to it correspond with the numbers inside the article itself, those citations. Those are the citations and sources of whatever is being written and said there. Those are the things you want to look at, not Wikipedia. If you're looking for a general thing, that's a good, like, starter point. It's a starter point, like a reference. It's like a reference book. I don't know how many people use reference books these days. There was this one public library I used to go to. It was right next to my school, because our school didn't have a library. And so there was a library nearby it. We weren't the most super funded school. We were like a baby school. I think there's a library now. I haven't checked in a while, actually. Maybe I should check on that. Anyway, there were these reference books that you could only look at. You couldn't check them out, but you could look at them in the library to be able to, like, find, okay, this is what you need. This is the things, like, reference books, you know? Little fun things to help you with sources. That was a very nice library. I liked hanging out in that library. Speaking of libraries, I have been very much dedicated to supporting my local library by using it. I've been mainly using it to check out Star Trek DVDs. Occasionally some books that I get most of the way through. Some of them I actually have completely finished reading. Most of them were manga because and my literacy has gone somewhat down the toilet. Somewhat. I have completed a book in the past... Okay, maybe not the past year. I need to fix that as soon as possible. This is bad. I am... Okay, I can read. I just need to actually sit down and read a book and take the time to read it. And I know exactly what time I could use. Any time that I am scrolling on social media, I could probably, if I remember, and remind myself and get in the habit of reminding myself, I could use that time instead to read a book. It doesn't even have to be a long book. I could reread the same book that I read back in, like, elementary school that I keep bringing up, Christopher Paul Curtis's book, Bud Not Buddy. That one takes place during the Great Depression. I believe it's in Flint, Michigan. Yes. It's a very good book. I read it back in my elementary school years. It's funny that the book seemed longer when I was a kid, but nowadays I'm like, oh wow, this is actually a pretty relatively short book. Everything's kind of going fast. But it's a reasonably paced book for a kid. So, yeah, definitely worth a read. I could reread The Book Thief, which I have vague memories of reading. There's... is it Levine? Yeah, Gail Carson Levine's Fairest, which is in the same universe as Ella Enchanted, which I have learned since that the movie is not, like, it's not like a full... it's not an accurate adaptation to the book. That's what I've heard. But Fairest is actually a pretty good book. I really enjoyed that. It was very interesting. I already said The Book Thief. What else is in there that I've read? I'm not counting the 2 light novels or the, there's like a few, I bought the Scott Pilgrim series a few years back because I'm like, I want to actually read the books instead of watching the film. It's very interesting to read about a bunch of messy people trying to figure their lives out. I'm just like, ah, y'all are disasters. It's fun. Let's see, what other books? There's a couple of, there's actually like 4 Warriors books. Nope, wait. Nope, there's 5 of them. Hilariously enough, 3 of them are the 4th book in their respective seasons? I was gonna say seasons, but it's arcs. Let me take a look at that while I fight things simultaneously. I can do that. I can do what I want. Yep. 3 of them are the 4th book. One of them is the 4th Apprentice, which is the 1st book in the 4th arc, I believe, Omen of the Stars. And then I would love to say that I also have the 4th Special Edition, but the 4th Special Edition was Crooked Star's Promise, so I have the 3rd one, and that's Yellowfang's Secret, which is my namesake. She was my favorite cat in the Warriors books, and now I continuously call myself Yellowfang, and I... Thank you, middle school me. And the 42 is staying forever, by the way, because that is also a specific mark. Because during the time that I made the username, back in ye olde... was it 2011 or something like that? Something like that. Maybe 2012? No. No, that can't... no. Maybe it was 2010? It was further back than that. Its first usage was on my YouTube channel, but anyway. I was like, well, I can't just be Yellowfang because it won't... obviously it wasn't going to let me. So I'm like, okay, 42. And 42 was open, so Yellowfang 42. Which is really funny because it's actually... there's actually 2 or 3 reasons why I picked that number. One of them was because earlier that year, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy had come out. Did I have any knowledge of it? No. Did my dad? Yes. Was 42 also just my favorite number? Also, yes. 42 is that I have a favorite number. And it is also the result of my favorite math calculation. I'm very much a nerd, okay? Y'all are gonna hate me for this too, because, my favorite math calculation is 6 times 7 is 42. Pain. I'm gonna be honest, it is kind of funny that nowadays everybody's just like, oh gosh, every time they get close to even saying something related to 6-7, they're just like, oh no. What have I done? So it's kind of funny in that way, but yeah. Multiple reasons for 42. Maybe that'll be a book that I read finally. I'll finally pick up Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and actually read it. I have vague memories of the movie adaptation. Like, very vague memories. I just remember, like, bits and pieces of it. It was one of the films that I kind of watched, like, in the background because I wasn't particularly interested in it. I was very much a creature of habit when it came to whatever movies I watched. Yeah, I was very much a creature of habit. So like, for example, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I only know bits and pieces because I would like be in and out. I was probably doing what the heck was I doing during that time? I was probably writing little stories or something like that. I did like to write a lot of stories in that era. I still do, I just haven't written as many because I'm very tired all the time. Thank you, pandemic, for wrecking my immune system and making me a tired person. Yay! I can't really confirm that in a medical sense, but I have my suspicions. Anyway, and there was another film, Napoleon Dynamite. That one I have never actually sat and watched it all the way through. I just only know bits and pieces and whatever everybody was quoting at each other when it came out. Like, that's it. I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, that's where that's from. That's where that's from. I know this quote. I have knowledge of pop culture and everything. Makes me sound like I'm really disconnected from pop culture. I do have some parts where I am very connected to it. Like the first 3 Pirates films, fantastic. The 4th one, it was alright. The 5th one, I still haven't watched it, to be honest with y'all. It did not pique my interest. The 4th one kind of made me like, okay. I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch the... Shoot, do we even have that one? I don't think we even have the 4th. Do we have the 4th one? I have to dig through the DVDs again. DVD collections are so nice. It takes a long time to build up the collection, by the way. It's not just all at once. Like, it was a slow build up in the family over time, over like decades. Since whenever we got a DVD player. Because originally, we had a crap ton of VHSs. I only remember watching a few of them because, of course, as a kid, you're just like, I like this thing and only this thing. Which is a real shame because I think we had a Pro Shot recording of Cats, the musical, and I'm really sad that it is probably not anywhere in the house anymore because I really kind of want to watch it. I actually got to see a production of Cats. It was really well done, by the way. Is that musical absurd? Yes. Do I prefer it in musical form? Absolutely. I did not touch the movie adaptation. That was... oh gosh. That was bad just even looking at it. It was also when James Corden was like shoehorned into almost every other film and it was kind of like... why are you here, man? Why? Go away. Go away, James. Please get out of my movies. Not that I was gonna watch Cats anyway, because it looked like a mess. The musical is a lot less of a mess. It is a very nonsensical and silly thing, by the way. Very nonsensical and silly. Totally worth it for... If it's a really well done production, it is totally worth watching, honestly. Enjoy the absurdity of it all. Because the cats are all getting together to figure out who gets to go to heaven. And supposedly reincarnated. Oh dear. I think that's the basic premise of it. Yeah. I love silly weird shows and movies and musicals like that. Adds a little extra flavor and spice in life. Lots of extra flavor and spice. Who am I kidding? Oh man, I'm trying to remember if there's any other silly movies or shows that I'm like, this thing is so funny. It seems stupid, but it's really funny. Oh shoot. Oh, there is one that's coming to mind, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. It's been such a long time, but I remember there was a film that I remember one of my parents saying it's so stupid, but it's funny. I can't remember what it was. Ooh, I do recall a movie off the top of my head, though. That is definitely a very ridiculous premise. Would not actually happen in real life. How many of y'all have heard of Racing Stripes? You do not have to answer, but just answer in your head. How many of y'all have heard of Racing Stripes? For anyone unfamiliar, it is a movie about a zebra that got left behind from a circus, traveling circus. He got picked up on the side of the road on a rainy night and was basically adopted by it's either a rancher or a farmer, one of the two. Either a rancher and his daughter. And so the daughter takes care of the zebra, raises him and stuff. And they live really close to a racetrack? Yeah, they live close to a racetrack and where a bunch of horses are stabled. A lot of them are show horses like racers or jumpers, that sort of thing. And basically the main character, the zebra, Stripes, really wants to be a racehorse. He does not realize that he is a zebra. Well, I mean, he does realize that he's a zebra, but he actually does make a friend with a thoroughbred across the fence. And they briefly make friends, but the friend's dad is not very nice. And there's also an old, gruff, kind of Doc Hudson type pony on the farm that used to train the other racehorses. He was like the trainer of, like, what was his name? The antagonistic racehorse was called Sir Trenton, and then the offspring of his, the one that is kind of Stripe's friend, is Trenton's Pride. There we go. Horses and their racehorse names. Anyhow, the plot further goes along. Stripes does still, like, want to race and stuff like that. I don't know how the farmer and his daughter end up getting into that. I think there's some kind of bet ends up happening. And, spoiler alert. Well, maybe I shouldn't spoil it, but it is still, actually, the tension is really well done. Even if you know how the movie goes, you still find yourself cheering them on. It is totally implausible. There is no freaking way a zebra is gonna outrun a thoroughbred. I don't think, anyway. I need to evaluate some science, but I'm pretty sure it's not the case. It's supposed to be a fun kids movie, basically. With a crap ton of celebrity casting. You got Frankie Muniz. I think, was Hayden Panettiere in it as there was like a girl horse that was a jumper. I cannot remember her name, which makes me sad because she was actually a pretty fun character. Was Dustin Hoffman? Yeah, Dustin Hoffman was the pony. I can't remember the pony's name either. Whoopi Goldberg was the goat. Was it? Shoot. The two guys who play the two flies, those two were so freaking funny. I cannot remember their names. Maybe I should look up the cast list again. I do think it's funny that in a lot of the promotional, they use Snoop Dogg in a lot of the promotional material. Bro plays a dog that barely exists in the movie. He just wakes up occasionally, says some random shit, and then goes back to sleep. That is literally Snoop Dogg's character the entire film. I don't even remember his name. He just shows up, says some random thing like, you can put something in the oven. Oh, you can put boots in the oven, but that don't make them biscuits. It's like, okay. Maybe there's some script writing in there, or maybe Snoop was just high when he was in the recording booth and they just had to work with what they had. I genuinely don't know. Also, I think there was a bird that was supposedly on the run from some other gangs of birds that lived in... Was he supposed to be from Brooklyn? He was either from... No. I feel like that would be an insult to compare like... Because Brooklyn and Jersey are definitely different accents. There are very subtle... There are specific nuances between a Brooklyn accent and a Jersey accent. And I know I would get yelled at for saying that they're the same, because they are definitely not the same. There's very specific things. but I can't quite point out the subtleties between them, so I get them a little confused sometimes, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a very, very silly movie, but it's just a nice little lighthearted, basically a sports movie in a way, but very silly and kid-friendly, so. If you're looking for a little pick-me-up, there you go. Not sponsored, just me remembering how I used to watch that when I wanted to watch something nice and fun and lighthearted. I was also a big fan of Stuart Little. I used to watch the VHS of the first movie, and then we had the DVD of the second movie. I liked both of them. They were both pretty fun. I didn't watch the third one. I didn't even know it existed until years later. Funny enough, that is also not the only Michael J. Fox voice-led role that I enjoyed. I also liked his role in Atlantis: The Lost Empire. I love that film. That one's a good one. I used to watch it kind of, okay, maybe not obsessively, but I used to watch it very frequently. I loved that movie. I still do. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I still love that movie. I like that they created a language for the film. Like, they created the whole Atlantean language for it. There's more specifics to it. Part of me is like, well, I have a VHS copy, and the other part of me is like, girl, I really want to see the behind the scenes. I want to see them all. I love the behind the scenes of films. I like seeing how they work. Like, if any of you folks are lucky enough to have an extended edition version of Lord of the Rings where they have a crap ton of, like, the discs for all the special features, it is so fun to just pick through all of the menus for hours. Totally worth the time of day if you're one of those folk. Especially if you're like a kid and you're bored and you've already done all your schoolwork and stuff like that and there's nothing to do except maybe scroll on social media. Instead of scrolling on social media, dig through the DVD menus and all the special features. Check out all the behind-the-scenes content of your favorite movies, because there's some cool stuff that happens. Like, for example, in Lord of the Rings, they had to build an entire program for the Battle of Helm's Deep, and they had to set up and they had to actually dumb down okay, I say AI as in not generative AI, but like basically like whatever controls the actions of the characters, kind of like how you say like the enemy AI for video games, that kind of thing. Basically whatever guides the actions of that. So they had those for making like all of the extras for like the really big shots that they can't fit like a ton of extras, because there's a limit of how many extras you can really have in an entire film. They still managed to have a ton, by the way. They had to dumb it down because some of the soldiers on either side were running away because they took one look at the battle and were like, nope. They evaluated the battle and immediately fled. And I think in one of the special features you can see them like all fleeing off in the distance, and it's just like, hey. Yeah. They did a lot of miniatures for the Lord of the Rings films as well. Like the Weta Workshop, they did such a good job. Like, the reason why those films hold up so well is they had years of pre-production. Like, I mean years. That's why when they did the Hobbit adaptation, it was a little bit on the rough side, because they started off with, there was some production drama behind the scenes because Guillermo was not up for doing a trilogy. Guillermo del Toro, he was not up for doing a trilogy. He was just going to do like 2 films for the series, and so there was a little bit of a rift with that. So he left the project because it, compatibility, it's not going to work out. So Peter Jackson, since he directed the Lord of the Rings films, they brought him in, and of course, since they don't have years of pre-production, the license is about to expire for being able to adapt the films. They're like, oh crap. So, that's why there's a lot of like interesting little shenanigans going on with the Hobbit films in terms of like some of the visual things. Like, that's why it doesn't quite look as like beautiful and fantastical. They still did a decent job. I will say that. They still did a decent job. Especially given with the limited time that they had for pre-production and so forth. But yeah, I love all the little things that they did with the first 3 Lord of the Rings films. That was a heck of a commitment to do, by the way, too. Yeah, but the behind the scenes of those films are really fun. And you can especially tell that all the cast have had fun together, because anytime you see them at convention panels, you can look up any convention panels where all of them are, where like a group of them are there, like Dominic and I know his name, it's not coming to me, but like when all 4 of the hobbits, I know, I'm remembering, okay, I can remember Sean Astin's name. It's not Daniel Radcliffe, it's the guy who, Elijah Wood, Dominic, and, I know his name, it's not coming to me. Either way, when those 4 hang out together, like they're basically just still old friends after all these years. Whenever any cast of the Lord of the Rings gets together, they chat. You can tell they have been friends. They still talk to each other. If I remember right, during the pandemic when everyone was on lockdown, hi puppy! Hi! Another puppy has come for cuddles and pets and attention. Anyway, if I remember right, yes. There should still be a video archive of this, by the way. Some of the Lord of the Rings cast, they got together, I believe Josh Gad was the one who organized the whole thing. He got the group of them together and they like chatted, talked about Lord of the Rings related stuff, occasionally quoted different scenes. John Rhys Davies still had his helmet from when he was Gimli. Ian McKellen made Ian McKellen made a joke by slightly modifying one of his lines. He's like, ah yes, that is what they called me. Gandalf the Gay. That is an actual thing he said, by the way. Ian McKellen said that. It is not an insult thing. It's what he said. Oh man, it was very funny. Yeah, but when you see them all get together, you can tell they had a blast working together. Ian did not have as much fun with The Hobbit because everyone was technically shorter than him, so he had to basically act by himself, and it made him really sad because he was like, I'm all by myself here on this soundstage and green screen. There was probably a couple times where he actually got to act alongside other actors, but I can understand how that would be rough. Yeah. Especially when you have to make sure that you know where your eye line is supposed to be for where everyone else is getting composited in. That is actually making me think of what it must have been like for when they were filming Endgame, because everybody was all fragmented all over the place. And they were like trying to keep everything locked down. There was only limited to script to what you're doing, so you have no idea what... Man, that must have been kind of nightmarish. I wonder if performance suffered in that regard. I wonder what it would have been like if they were able to all just work together on the film. It probably would have gotten spoiled and stuff like that, because they were really trying not to spoil Endgame. But I do wonder sometimes, because of how they did the film, like how they filmed it and did all the everything, I wonder at times if everybody had been able to be all together on the set or on the soundstage, wherever they were filming, I wonder if that would have changed some of the performances. I really do wonder. That would have been really fascinating. Especially if they had more context, because it also would have informed their performance of their characters too. Very much would have informed it if they knew what was going on, because half the time nobody knew what they were actually supposed to be doing in a scene. 'Cause you gotta not spoil things. I wonder if... I'm thinking a lot about whether or not the film might have been... Because it was fantastic when it came out, but I wonder if it could have been even better if they actually got to act all together. That would have been awesome. I would have loved that for sure. That would have been pretty sick, actually. Come on, fight me. Bring it on. There we go, actual damage. I love the process of creation. It's such a beautiful thing. It's very beautiful. Even when something is a complete mess or looks terrible. Like, shoot, I look at... There's this one time I did basically what is essentially an Inktober thing. You know, you draw something once a day for the whole 31 days in the month. I still have them up on my wall. I should probably find a better place to put them because I haven't replaced my calendar where I pasted them on my wall. I just pasted them on top of my calendar. That calendar is from 2022, by the way. I have not replaced it. To be fair, I barely look at the calendar anyway, so... I just was like, oh, I'll flip the thing up. See what kind of fun picture is here. But like, even the crappy ones, I'm like, I still enjoyed the process of drawing the piece. Like in some instances, for one of them, I stared at my hands, like stared directly downward to stare at my hands to get the perspective. Okay, if I'm looking directly down at my hands, like, oh my gosh, my hands have changed into something else entirely, or like, oh, there's something on it that's horrifying and scary. It's like, okay, so how would I see that? It was fun to play a little bit with perspective. I got to play with some references, like I looked up a pose of somebody working on their garden for someone working on something that was on the ground kind of close to that. Just lots of little perspective things. I think I even looked at myself in the mirror and like practiced poses for specific things. It was a lot of fun. I still need to work on expressions though. I can tell my expression game is a little bit not solid. It could do with some improvement. But it was so much fun. I had a blast. I would just pull up a sticky note, look at the prompt for the day, and be like, okay, how can I work with this? And it was a fun little thing. Or like, on my really good days when I'm writing up a story, and able to write and consistently do so, I love the process of crafting, oh, this scene is gonna be great. This bit of dialogue, ooh, that's good, or oh, that's so sweet. If I'm writing something romantic, I'm like, oh, that's so sweet, or oh, or if like I know down the line there's gonna be a betrayal, I'm just like, ooh, this is gonna suck later on for them. It's just the little things. I love it. I love the little things about that. It's very joyous. Or this one's or like when I do video editing, sometimes I'm like, oh, the video is driving me nuts. It's taking such a long time. I'm trying to find good pieces. I'm trying to cut out the extra stuff that I'm like, okay, this is repetitive, not getting to the point. But then sometimes I'm like, man, I'm having a blast. I'm cutting something together. It might be funny. It might be funny to me right now. It might not be funny later, but I'm enjoying it. I like sometimes I put in little jokes to myself or little jokes about specific things, add a little visual bit to whatever I was saying to add to context. Like, those things. That's always fun. Sometimes I make music, like that one time that I made jazz music when I was fixing my hard drive, because I had to do check disk on it and figure out what was wrong with the broken files, and then I ended up corrupting like 5 files, but to be fair, I think those just were going to be corrupted anyway. That really sucked. But I made jazz music in a fit of rage. And mild depression from the whole ordeal, because I was like, oh no, what if I can't make this video? And then of course I managed to solve a way around it, thank goodness. I had to restructure like several sections, but thank goodness I watched my videos repeatedly over and over while I put them together. So I get to know the content very, very well, especially when I'm doing a lot of heavy editing. I get to know this whole video very well. Because when I continue a project, I pull it up and then I start it back from the beginning and watch all the way through, occasionally trim out some extra stuff. And then once I've caught up to the main section, I am in the perfect mindset for making the rest of the video. That way it doesn't seem as segmented. It's a very easy tell to see when I've accidentally segmented instead of making it all flow consistently. I'm working on it. It's a process of improvement. And I like that I'm improving. I like the process of improvement. Ah, there was one more thing that I remember. Oh, when I was doing programs. And specifically for my final project, I basically made a little random question generator that was basically, it pulled from a list. It pulls from a list to pick out like 1, 5, or 10 writing related questions to help like get the brain flowing about what was it? I believe it was related to questions, asking questions about your characters, about creating characters. Like, how do their religious beliefs affect them? There was some other stuff, I can't remember. That one was the one that I remember clearly off the top of my head. I looked at it the other day, I could probably look at it again. But there's just a bunch of little questions, and I'm like, it was quite a treat to figure out how to put it all together. I had a lot of fun with it. Was it a little chaotic, and did it sometimes irritate the daylights out of me? Of course. But when I had the completed thing and was ready to present it, it was great. It was my capstone project, which seems kind of like a measly little pathetic thing, but it was a very big deal to me. One of these days I need to figure out how to. I should have learned how to properly use GitHub when I was in college, but somehow I got away with not properly. No, I did learn how to use it. I just don't remember because I didn't use it enough because I was a heathen. Yeah, that's my own fault. And also the timing of when I had the class that I should have learned that in. That was when the pandemic kicked off, and I barely managed to survive that class because the grades got frozen from when lockdown started. My education was slightly marred by tragedy, both for the entire world and then, of course, some personal tragedies that happened while and during the course of my education. That sucked. It's all good though, I made it. I did A-okay. And then I had to hit the ground running for work because I was almost completely out of money by the time I got home. And I was like, oh dear, thank goodness I have a job lined up because that was almost bad. Like I keep saying, I am a very lucky person. And I am very aware of that. I am very aware of that luck. I might have run out of it though. Maybe not actually. No, I don't. Nah, I don't think I've run out of luck. Not yet. It ain't gone until I'm gone, and I don't plan on going for another 70 years, maybe? I'll live to be about 100, maybe 99. That'd be funny. You can see the headlines. Yellowfang 42 dies at 99. Can't make it to 100. That's really morbid. I'm sorry, chat. That was kind of morbid. I'm sorry, I think it's funny. It's so stupid, it's funny. That's good. That is good. Alright, let me do this. let's get these guys. Come on, bring it on. By the way, if you're hearing any creaking sounds, that would be the sound of my headset pretending to be a ship docked or moored in a bay. That is what a ship sounds like. It makes constant creaking sounds. Technically, it's because of the mast kind of moving a little bit. I've been on a sailboat a few times. It's been very fun. I got to sail it. I got to drive a sailboat once. It was really cool. It was extra cool because it was like, there was like a few of us. There was like a couple of families. Yeah. Because my dad, my mom, one of my siblings and I, and then a couple of his friends from work and their kids. There were like two, was there two of them or was it just one? I can't remember now. It's been such a long time. But either way, at one point I was at the helm and I was like, wait a minute, where are we going? And I basically my dad told me later he heard me shout, "Ready about! Helmsley!" for when we came about to get in the direction that we were supposed to be going. Man, I want to sail again. I need to get my sailing license and stuff. I should get a boat license. Dude. Sailing. The wind on my face and the seasick patch behind my ear to prevent me from feeling horrifically nauseous. That's the beauty of sailing, unfortunately. If you get motion sick. It's a good time though. I love it. Alrighty. Let's get 'em. Whee! I think I actually, yeah, sailing trips were. It wasn't too frequent. We couldn't go every year, obviously. But there was this one year I noticed that in the mainsail there's these flexible metal rods that help like keep the sail in like position. And one of them had started to like wiggle its way out of the sail, and I noticed it, pointed it out. And so meanwhile, we're trying to lower the sail to get it so then we can put it back in. It pops out. According to everyone else, I caught it midair, but according to me, it smacked me on the shoulder and I grabbed it. But it saved our sailing trip, because that would have like killed our ability to sail with the main sail and everything, but it was a great time. The folks who ran the chartering company, they actually met with me, and I have a captain's cap from that. And I am very proud of it. It's just basically a baseball cap with the logo of the charter company, the sailing charter company on it. And the best part is, when they made those caps, they also have a little string sewn into the cap that has a little clip that you can attach to your shirt, so then if the wind blows off your hat, it's still attached to your shirt so you don't lose it. It's good old times. I love it. Alright, let's take these three out. Come on. Come on. Bring it on. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize that I have held my head in place for 30 minutes. That's good though. Oh my goodness. Woo! I have no idea how much I got through, because I remember it was like 2,900. How much do I have remaining? Yeah, I just went through... What? No, that makes sense. That makes sense for the amount of time that I've been streaming. That makes plenty of sense. Alrighty, let me save. Because this is more than usual. In case you're wondering, the file on top, this one, that's my main save file. I'm not going to accidentally save over it. I would cry. Alright, there we go. Alright, there's the first file for this, and then my backup file, which I created because I almost deleted it once. And then thankfully I saved it when I realized it. Alrighty, so that is going to do it for the stream. Thank you all so much for stopping by, whether you are past, present, or future. If you are on the YouTube side, feel free to hit the subscribe button. That way you can get notifications for when I'm live. If you're on Twitch, if you want to continue watching this silly crusade, you can hit the follow button. That way you can also get notifications for when I'm live, but on Twitch. I also have social media, which is Twitter, Blue Sky, and Tumblr. They are all with the username at Yellowfang42. You can follow me on those for not just when I'm notifying going live or when I'm not live. I also have YouTube posts for that. But also when I occasionally post about some random art or just some other things. Just me being silly, whatever. Alrighty. Anything else? I'm trying to remember. For anyone still around that is semi-present, is there anybody that you want me to throw you at? Or do you want to just all disperse? Because if not, I'm just going to disperse. Yeah, I'm just going to say, disperse. I'll give you a little bit. I need to drink some water. Okay. I'm going to assume disperse for the day, and then everybody can go and adventure to the streams they wish to go to, or rest for the evening. Anyway, I hope you all have a good morning, afternoon, evening, and night. I know I certainly will. Have a good one. Here's your end stream screen. Bye!